Hi everyone, and welcome to the EmpowHer Journey. For those who want it all, this is the community to support your self-growth and live by your own rules. So today we are really happy to have our guest, Chris Infanzon, who is an advertising professional, author, husband, and a proud father. He is also a podcaster. It is called the Hidden Doors Podcast, and it's all about learning and self-improvement. So hi guys.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Chris.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming so early on in the morning for you.
All good. My daughter keeps me up almost all night, so I'm ready to go at any time.
Oh my God. Well done, you.
Great. So, Chris, can you tell us about your empowerment journey?
Yeah. My journey, I guess a little bit about myself is that so you mentioned I'm an advertising professional and I podcast, I have a book out. But my journey to that, I think, it took a little while to hit me in certain areas of where I am now in the philosophy that I have, the things that I do. My whole thing that I say, is like, it took me 23 years until I read a book, and I read this book and it gave me a 180 change. The book was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And it was all about the mindset, setting goals for yourself. And it was just such a weird experience because I didn't like reading. I just, in school, I read what I had to do. I was okay at school. Wasn't reading for fun. And then for some reason I picked this book up and I just wanted to, I don't know what the hell made me want to read the book, but when I was reading it, it just opened things up for me. And I started to realize how much I could work with my subconscious brain. And nothing like, I'm not talking like some weird voodoo stuff. It's like your subconscious is a literal scientific thing that you could work with. And if you set goals and you put your mind to something, you could accomplish things much quicker and much faster. And it's since that day, I've been on a self-improvement journey. I've been, every month, I want to learn multiple things. I try to read up to 3 books a month, depending on how complex that book is. Might take a little longer, but on average, I'm always trying to read as much as I can per month. I'm always trying to set goals for where I want to be in the next 1 to 2 years. I'm always trying to challenge myself, and it's been about 7 years of me just like really learning, improving, setting goals for myself, applying the principles that I've learned in all of the things I'm doing to my work, and I've been better at my work. I've been better at doing things in my work. And then it brings me to, I wrote a book. I tried to distill all the concepts that I think are extremely helpful, from leadership to setting goals to why you should eat healthy. I have the whole book here. We'll probably talk about it. And I distilled all the concepts. So it's a very short, succinct book that covers a lot of ground. And the idea, I mentioned this on a previous podcast, and I've realized I should probably say a little more. The idea is that it's supposed to open doors for you. So that's why I have this whole hidden doors thing. You see the hidden doors behind me. You're supposed to read this book. It's supposed to open up doors to concepts and ideas that you weren't thinking about or aware of, and that you can go explore more. So I wrote a book, supposed to enlighten people a little bit. And then after the book, I did a podcast. The idea was, I was going to promote the book with a lot of YouTube videos. And then I realized I sort of like doing podcasting. So my podcast, it's sort of like it's a podcast version of my book. It's like self-improvement. We talk about things that'll help people. I do book reviews, and I've been doing this now for the past 8 months. So it's been a 8 to 9 to 10 year journey of me continually improving myself. And I have so much more to go, and so much more to learn, so many more people to talk to. And I'm just getting started, because I know there's so much growth that I need personally and professionally. So that's been my journey so far. sure there's much more with I got the baby, I gotta learn how to take care of the family as I get older. I got a lot of things coming my way, but that's so far my journey.
Oh, that's amazing. Thanks so much.
Wow.
I love how you describe this tipping point of this turning point of inspiration through this book, and how you went so much in reading. It's so funny how something such as a simple book, pages of paper, can have such a absolutely
just
great.
Information can just change the way you
whole
look
life.
at things, how good you are at a certain task, a job, how well you can perform at something. Information is so beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that's what you're doing now as well, with the sharing that, giving back, right? And making sure as many people as possible can also have access to that. But
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. I'd read an amazing book that I had no idea. And I'd like, why aren't people shouting out this information like on rooftops? It seems like it would help people's lives better. Like if I knew how to invest my money, wouldn't you think like that would help me as a person if I could eat healthier?
Yeah.
Like I could stop long-term illnesses and be healthier overall. Like if I set goals, couldn't I accomplish more? Why aren't people telling more people about this? So I was like, I need to just start spreading the damn word. And this is the reason why I like to do this type of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And what would you say were like the results for you of this journey? So how it made you feel and what you got from it, maybe what doors it opened for you gradually since you've started that 20 years ago?
Well, 20, that's a long time. I would say about 10 years ago. Let's say 10.
Yeah. Sorry, I got more you mentioned already. Yeah, 10. That's good enough. Long enough.
I think for me, it's helped me. I think it's helped me want to challenge myself without being afraid. Like I still probably get afraid of certain things, definitely. But I think in a lot of aspects, it's helped me. You know, fear prevented you from taking a step that you think would have been hard or difficult. There would have been a lot of roadblocks. I think that my willingness and my willingness to challenge myself and know that if I fail, that's okay, and I'll get up and I'll learn from it. I always say, like, there's, you know, you're going to go after so many things in this life that you have, and if every single one of them is not going to be the ultimate success, people are going to be clapping for you and you're going to have this grand speech. Like, it's not going to be a major success every time. You're going to fall on your face and you're going to embarrass yourself sometimes. It's going to look ugly and you're going to maybe not hate yourself, but you're just going to be down one day. And that's going to happen multiple times. And I've learned over time, and I still got to do this better, but I've learned over time that, you know, those are going to be bad days. You have to improve continuously, maybe 1% better a day or a week or a year. You're going to get embarrassed. You're going to fall on your face. Something's going to be much harder than you thought. And you need to understand that those are stepping stones, not complete failures. Those are going to get you to the next endeavor. If you fail completely at something and then you say, you know what, this is just not worth my time, and that gives you a skill set to move into the next endeavor, which helps you a little bit more, and then that fails. But you go to the next one, and now you have half the skill sets you need, and it's just a building of stepping stones. To me, that's not failing. That's learning and improving.
Absolutely.
That's so important, I think, for people not to take that first step. What else it's done for me? I just think that I don't think I would have been in the position I am in my career if and I'm not saying I'm in this grand position either, but I don't think that I would have grown in my career if I didn't have this mindset, if I wasn't reading. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm a better presenter now because I have understood the science behind presenting. I feel more comfortable when I'm presenting. That's a big thing in work, you know. And I think in any career you're in, you got to learn the details, but then you want to get hired. The way you get hired is learning those softer skills. How do you present all the information, you know, to maybe a client or to a team so they can do something better? So like, there's things that I've just improved incrementally. And I think I have never, you can't really test this, right? I don't know. In a perfect world, you have an A/B test. I've cloned myself. I'll clone myself, and this person won't improve. This person won't improve. Let's see where they go in life. My assumption is I would go much further with all this stuff. Who the hell knows, though? So my feeling is I've able to challenge myself more. I think I've grown in my career at a more rapid rate, and I feel better about myself, and I'm better able to take hard days that some people might, can't take that, fall on your face and cry in a hole for 3 days. It's going to suck for one day. You got to roll with the punches and get up the next day and ready to fight and keep moving forward.
Absolutely. Makes me think something I've seen. I think it was only yesterday. It really made me laugh. Like that actually, that one step forward and one step back isn't failure, or isn't regression. It's actually called cha-cha-cha. Say it one day. I thought it was brilliant. I was like, yeah. That's absolutely how it goes, isn't it? Like, it's part of it, and if you don't do it, you don't move forward at all. Definitely.
I like that.
Yeah, really cool. So can you tell us more about the Hidden Door podcast? There's so much into it. So you mentioned the book reviews. I think there's some word definitions as well that inspire you. Can you tell us about everything that you do with this podcast, this channel?
Yeah, when I first started it, I had, first of all, I have no idea how to start a podcast. So when I first did it, it was like with a phone. And my first learning of it, I had to just understand the tech. I didn't understand the tech. I didn't have like box lights to make my face look all nice. I didn't have this thing behind me. I didn't have a nice camera. I didn't have anything. So I had to learn the tech. But then my whole idea was that I was going to do, each episode would maybe be like a chapter of my book. So I first started doing that. And then I branched out and I said, well, why am I not also talking to people who would have a different perspective than me? Because, I can't know everything. I don't know everything. And even the things that I think I know may be wrong. And so I shouldn't limit it to just myself. And so I like to bring other people on, and we cover a lot of things, but I like to talk about, how do you, like, meditation. You'll see the same thing. I like to talk about eating healthy. I've had a transformational way of eating that's helped me so much in my life. I like to talk about how people got to the position they're in, because you might look at someone in a high position who have accomplished a lot, who has started a nice business that allowed them to not have to work their day job anymore, and that's working well for them. How did they do it? Like, what did you learn to do that? I like to just talk to someone one-to-one. It's like, what did you do? Like, were you nervous when you took that first step? Oh, you were? Oh, how did you combat that? Oh, you set goals. Okay, that's cool. Like, well, are you nervous? Like, do you get stressed out normally on like a day-to-day basis? Well, no, or yes. What do you do? Do you stretch and exercise, and do you? I like to just get down to the person, understand how they got into where they are, because, you may just look at someone really high or in a successful position, like, how I'm never going to get there. But then you start to talk to these people and you realize they're normal people who have learned principles and values and have been through challenges, and they've worked hard on it. And they might have fallen on their face a few times. They're probably humble and they want to challenge themselves. And I just try to bring that to light to people. Because if I heard what I was talking about when I was 15 to 20, maybe it would have been a different story for me. I'm not saying, I would have been maybe even further in my growth. Who knows? But I think I would have changed my mindset on things. And so the whole podcast, even the book, the whole thing is designed around giving people information to know you can get there. Here's how other people have done it. And, you should take that first damn step and stop being so afraid. Also, I do book reviews. So I read a lot. So I might as well, make some content with some book reviews. So I do book reviews on everything I read. I read, if you just read personal development books, I feel like you're somewhat narrowed in on a very smaller topic. I like to broadly read nonfiction books. Like right now I'm reading this book called The Hunter and Gatherer's Guide to the 21st Century. It's not really a self-development book, but it talks about things how we evolved as people from millions and millions of years. How can we learn from that from today's society? We are rapidly evolving with like our technology, with our culture. Is that keeping up to date with our biology? Like blue screens in our eyes all day, like is that good for our sleep? So like that's a thing where it's not really personal development, but you're learning things that could help you improve. And so I do book reviews on that, and then I just like to generally talk about topics. I have one of my next podcasts coming up is so I like this. It's a New Year's resolution check-in. So it's a three-month check-in for my New Year's resolution, because in my head I was like, okay, everyone in January talks about all the tips you need in New Year's resolutions, and we're all preaching, but let's check in on you in 3 months. So I checked in on myself, and yeah, I'm not perfect. So I fell off the track in some areas, and I just speak honestly and authentically.
Yeah.
So because we can have these podcasts and talk all these things, but that doesn't make us perfect, and no one's perfect. So here are the challenges I've had. I fell off, but I got back on because of these structures that I have in my life. And so it's just really all about learning, helping inspire people, informing them. Information is so crucial. It could change your life. So information, inspiration is everything that I try to do.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love how you said that success is a journey. Whatever we want to reach, it's a journey. We need to take the first step and go further along, even if there's down days and great days.
Oh, there will be down days.
Yeah, there will for sure. But with the right mindset, as you say, we can, just go further, and that's so important. Can you tell us more about your book? I want to dive deeper on success. You said it's achieve more or faster. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. So the way I have this book structured is there's 3 sections. First is turn dreams into goals. Yeah. Second is have courage, be a leader. Third is maintain focus, be inspiring. There could be more. Maybe in my few more years I'll write more, but those are the 3 things that I feel like start you off to a successful life. And when I say successful, it doesn't mean you have to have a lot of money. It just means, you respect yourself and you feel good about what you've done, and you can help people, and people rely on you. But first section is turn dreams into goals. This is all about non-procrastinating and setting goals. This is the thing that when I read Think and Grow Rich, I try to touch on. It's like set goals for yourself. And I've heard a lot of things where, like, if you're too goal focused, and there's a whole thing of like goals versus habits. Do you build habits or do you focus on? I think you need both. I think you can't set the right habits unless you know where you're going in the next year or two, or where you want to be. So I value setting goals very highly. So something like I like to do yearly. So I put some goal setting principles about what goals should look like. They should be very specific. They should be time bound. You should have a vision, and you want to be there. I try to inspire people to set those goals, stop procrastinating. I in the book, I say a lot of the things that I'm saying here. It's like, you're not going to like be this big success and the first thing you try. I even say in the book, I'm like, hey, I know that the likelihood this book is going to be like a major success is like 5%, but I don't care, because I enjoy doing it. And I actually learned a ton writing it. And if it doesn't work out, I'm going to do something else. Or I've learned something that I've learned the skills in this area that I can move into something else. That's not stopping me from not writing the book, though, because I enjoy doing it. And then I talk about building momentum. It's something that like is talked about in so many books. What's the one book that it's talked about? I forget, but little things over day and day and day. Yeah. Then it's like a hockey stick graph, right? It's like 5 years later, you're like, you start accomplishing a lot more. So it's like section 1, set goals. Don't be afraid to procrastinate. Take that first damn step. I'm sure there's easy ways to take the first step. If you want to start a big business, you don't have to think 30 years down the road and have big operations. Okay, that's great. Can you just start in your garage first? Like, don't have to think crazily big. And you're going to eventually build momentum if you have the same ferocity every single day and you build your momentum. 2 is have courage, be a leader. In this, I talk about a few things that I think is important as a leader, not just like a leader in a business or something, but also business, but also like a family and being a leader for yourself and the people around you, your community. I talk about having the right mindset. Part of that is like understanding that you have blind spots. You need people around, just like you're driving a car and you need blind spots to check where you're not seeing. You need people around you that have maybe the same values as you, but have different perspectives on things. So if you don't have people with different perspectives, you might not be seeing what you're not seeing. And that's when you crash your car, and you don't want to crash your car. You don't want to crash in your metaphorical life. Having vision and understanding where you want to be and how it can take you there, and not just understanding the future, but we're human beings and we're not so different. I just read a book that we're the same. Modern humans today have been around 200,000 years ago. If you put someone from 200,000 years ago in a suit in New York City and you dressed them up nice and they weren't talking, you would have no idea. We're human beings and we have, history repeats itself. So being able to look at the past and understand how that's going to change your future, which is why I think history is very important. I used to hate history when I was younger, but history is so important. The same fallacies that we get into, wars, all the bull crap that we hate, it may happen again if we're not careful about how we treat ourselves, how we think about the dynamics between each other. So I talk about having vision and using the past to help look at your vision. Communicating powerfully. This is one where learning to present was a big one for me. I talk about like the principles of how you can do that better, how to manage people effectively if you're managing a team. Investing, I think is amazing. It's necessary for a leader, especially if you have a family. You need to set your family up for success. You can't just blow all your money. You need to learn about how to grow that in the future. So that's section 2 is have courage, be a leader. Section 3 is maintain focus, be inspiring. And this is it's like, if you like, you know what? If I'm just saying, if you don't have this, even if you are very inspiring and you're a leader, I think it's hard to do everything I just said if you don't have this, because if you can't maintain focus and be inspiring, and then how do you can set all the beautiful goals you want, but you're not going to accomplish them if you don't have the energy to do that. And that talks about things like meditating. It talks about things like eating healthy. Eating healthy is, it's not just I want to lose weight. Well, that's cool. But do you drink a ton of alcohol every week and eat bad food? You're like, if I drink one night, I'm out of commission like for the next day or two, and then I eat like crap and my energy levels are off, and then I'm set back. If you're not putting the fuel in your car, the right fuel, it's not going to run efficiently. And if you're not doing that for yourself, you can have the fastest car in the world, but if you put like crap in it, it's not going to run. So you need to make sure that you're putting the right fuel in there. So that is how the book is structured. I say in the end, I'm like, I don't know if you've ever read the Chronicles of Narnia. You have. So I say this is similar to the Chronicles of Narnia. This is supposed to open the secret door to a new world that you may not have even understood, or this is why it's like the hidden doors. And it's not supposed to be this book. After you read this book, it's not supposed to be something where it's like, oh, I have all the information in the world. Like, I'm good. I can go kill it right now in this world. It's supposed to be the first step into your journey of understanding that there's a lot of information out there. I need to go study more. So I have a curriculum at the end of it of breaking different subjects down where you can go learn more about it. So I touch on a lot of topics in here, and it's in one book. So each topic I talk about, you can write 2-3 books. So I don't go deep. So I have, a whole bonus curriculum at the end of maybe 20 books that I recommend if you want to go looking and researching more into each topic. It's supposed to be the start of your journey, not the end of it or the middle of it. You need to go, now you have a guide for things that are important. Now go search more and read more. That is how the design of the book is.
That's amazing. It's very comprehensive.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's absolutely great. And, I really like this analogy and of the doors, stepping into finding the Eden doors. So it's like there's so much potential, there's so much possibility. Don't limit yourself. And the theme that we're covering this month is about why you deserve the best, because there is so much internal limitation for some people, especially at the start of the journey you were describing. Like, why do I really deserve more? Can I really achieve more? And it's like, am I worth it, kind of thing. So do you have like any tips for people that could be in this situation, like they would like to see more, they would like to see their life improve and expand, but they're standing, like maybe afraid to take that first step or opening that first door? What would you say to them?
I would say take the first step and stop overthinking it to a certain extent. You're going to have a certain mindset to understand you're going to put yourself into a situation that you want to go after, and it's going to potentially fall on your face. It might. There's a chance it does. That doesn't mean you should go into it knowing you're going to fail. You should put all the effort into it that will make it, as successful as you think you can. Just take the damn first step. Stop overthinking, but take many steps. So maybe you're thinking too big of steps. Maybe if you want to start that business of yours, or you want to try to like get promoted or something, you don't have to think in such large steps either. Like start a business might, in my head, it's like, I would love for the Hidden Doors brand to be a big media company one day. Millions of views, big podcast. I would love that. Not there, right? But first step for me was I just put my phone up and started talking. Like that was my podcast. It was a mini step. And then eventually, did that turn out really well? There's not millions of people watching me. You got to start small. So every week or month, my equipment would get a little better.
Yeah, gosh.
I'd get a little bit more people on, a little bit of different, unique people. And I just eventually starting getting better and better. But that doesn't also mean I'm going into this thinking and knowing this. If this is not a huge, huge, huge success, you know what? I tried my best at life, and I gave it my all, but I'm going to go back on the couch. It's more of I learned a ton, and if it doesn't work out, I think the things that I've learned I can put into other aspects of my life, and it's nothing as I say you're not. The only thing I think failure is not maximizing your potential. So, what did Tom Edison, like, have 1,000 different inventions, and he's known for 2 of them. Similar concept. It's like you will have to get out there, take many steps, set goals for yourself, understand that it may not work out perfectly. You'll have to adapt. You'll have to learn, and eventually you'll get there. But the point is to get on the road. Like if you're afraid to get on the road, will have forks. If you're looking at like a labyrinth of a road, it's like there's going to be a fork in like a mile. Then next mile is another fork. It's going to fork everywhere. You're not going to know perfectly your vision of exactly where you're going to be. But the point is you're moving forward. So you're on that road, you take a fork, you take a right, then you're left, then you're moving as long as you're moving forward. But if you're afraid to get on the damn road, you're not going anywhere. You're just sitting on the sidewalk. So
missing it.
Just take the damn first step. If it helps, read a book from experiences that other people have had. I think reading is so important. Reading gave me more confidence in other areas because it's from people who are sharing experiences and their perspective, maybe who have been doing something for 20, 30 years. And when you have that information, you feel more confident going into something. We are armed with the right information. So, and set up structures for yourself, because I can talk so inspiring right now, but tomorrow I might do something horrible, or I might just feel like ashamed of something that I did badly. And I was just talking to someone yesterday about this, and having a structure in your life also helps. And when I say structure, meditating maybe daily or testing meditating helps. I have daily reminders that get sent to my phone that tell me things that I'm talking about right now. I say, look, you're going to get 1% better a day, but those things that are going to happen to you, it's okay. as long as you're the point is to learn, grow, and succeed, not challenge yourself. But I have these messages come to me. It's a structure that I have. I meditate, I stretch, I eat healthy. I don't stop drinking a ton of alcohol. I make sure I review my goals every day. And so when that day does come, that structure that I have built helps me get through it even more. So it's like
to support you.
Yeah, it goes full circle. Throw yourself out there, boom, you go down. But I have a structure that helps me move back up, and then I go back down. I got but that circle is moving up and up and up and up and moving forward. So that's how I sort of handle it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're doing amazing. I mean, it's so impressive, everything that you do, all the videos that you post. There's a lot of content, guys, so go check the YouTube channel. It's absolutely amazing, filled with good stuff, a lot of new content all the time. And it's so amazing to see that you also have your job, you also have your family, you also have your daughter. I mean, you're walking the talk, aren't you? You're not only saying, yeah, guys, yeah, go do that. Yeah, you're actually doing it, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I try to.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys are doing the talking and the walking too.
You would try too as well. Yeah. Thanks.
I'll try as well.
But as you say, I just love
definitely,
what you'll be sharing also about authenticity, because I completely agree with you. It's not about pretending to have reached the top of the mountain. And I don't think there's ever a moment in our lives when we look back and we're like, hey guys, I've made it, I'm there, and I'm looking down on you. No, I mean, if you, especially in being a coach for me,
never.
You have to be in the journey. And you have to keep on growing and keep on learning, and it's never over. And by doing that, then you're able to help others. But pretending like I'm up here and I've got it all sorted, it's first a complete lie, and as well, I don't think it's how life works, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So if you could go back in time, Chris, and you could meet your younger self, what tips would you give yourself except the book from Napoleon Hill?
You could give yourself your book.
Yeah. I would tell myself to just read.
Yeah.
Read.
That's a good point.
Set goals. Read, set goals, and those two things. Because that'll start you on. That'll start.
Yeah.
If you just had that information, and you did that, then you would learn other things. You would finally get there because you'd be moving forward. I feel like that would be the two things I would tell myself to do. And I don't have to explain why, because I ranted off for a little while on why I find those so important. But those are the two things.
Absolutely. It makes me think of something I've seen on a Facebook group, actually. You were sharing that you were giving your book actually to some younger kids and trying to pass on that knowledge to a younger sort of generation. Is that also your intention when you do that?
It is. It's a lot coming from when I was 15 to 20. I didn't have this information. It would have been beautiful if I did. So I want to give it to people who were in my position when I was that age. And I don't really care about the money from that side. So I like to donate my books to schools. Like I donated, I can't remember how many books, but I donated a handful of books to like this high school that I went to, and a local school where I live now. And I usually set up a deal where if someone, subscribes to my podcast, I'll just send them a free book. So the whole intention is behind why I do this all is so much information out there that I wish I knew. So I want to give that back to the younger generation.
And I think as well, when we're in school at around this age, I mean, I came across personal development books so late in my life because I think we're presented also in school with a storybook, fiction books, and they're really, really a different experience, aren't they? And maybe that's why as well we're struggling to read more when we're this age, because those books are maybe not so engaging, and they can be maybe a little bit more difficult to access if you don't have the maturity. So I think as you do, by providing maybe a different type of read, it's a very different experience reading a personal development book. I think it can really open doors to this generation. So maybe part of the curriculum at some point. That would be great.
It doesn't even have to even be a personal development book either. It's like it's something that you can learn from. I used to think, like, when I was that age, I was like, these books, they're going to tell me some bull crap that, they'll tell me things that I already know. So I don't need to know it. But, I'll give you one example. I always talk about this. I've had crazy heartburn my whole life. And that's, I've read a couple books on diet. Diet, maybe it falls in the realm of self-development, but really self-help specific books tend to be like mindset focused. So I said, when I brought in everything to just nonfiction learning, if someone is dealing with a problem, I'm sure there is information out there in some kind of book that'll help you understand that problem. It may not fix it 100%. And that doesn't mean after you read the book, you're perfect. It's just, it's like coding. It's going to give you the code of information that you need to, now you need to change your life. Like, you could read a diet book all you want, but if you don't now change the way you eat, it doesn't really matter. So it's just information. So for me, that after changing my diet and reading that book and understanding why I had heartburn, I didn't have heartburn anymore. But I go to the doctor multiple times and they give me Prilosec. It works for 30 days. I'm still on my same diet. 30 days, it comes right back. I've had excruciating heartburn, like to a point where I was getting a little nervous that, like, it could form into something else. You could get Barrett's disease, which is like something in your esophagus that your like stomach starts like growing a little bit into your esophagus. And once you have that, you're like 52 more times likely to develop esophageal cancer. And I had excruciating heartburn for 10 years and I didn't really do anything about it. So just like a simple thing like that, where in 20 years, if I didn't take care of this, what could have happened? I don't really know. Couldn't have been anything good. And even if it didn't really happen, anything like an illness, I still had excruciating pain and uncomfortableness. So it doesn't even have to be a self-help book. It's just information to make your life better. If something's going on in your life, just know that there's information out there you code it into your brain, you read it, you understand it, and you will be better. Yeah,
the consequences is not only your well-being, or because I guess, as you say, maybe sometimes people have that idea about coaching or life coaching or personal development that it's very much in your brain or about how you feel and
psychological,
without necessarily realizing the impact on your health, for example, on your relationships, on more concretely in your life.
Yeah. Also, I started my first job, had no idea how to invest my money. Like people like, oh, you put it in here. Some people giving you tips. Like, well, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. If you never understood it, could you invest your money wisely and let it grow? Like it's just every aspect of your life you could make better by being informed.
Yeah, that's just this general idea of information and learning, which is one of the keywords for me from listening to you today. Is around that coding, information, learning, and the impact of that. And I love how you've really spread that message, and it's so crucial and empowering. And the other two keywords I would say were authenticity. I love your authenticity. I love the fact that that's what you're after when you have your guests in your podcast. And I've been also in the experience, and it's great to see you're not interested in appearances, or you really want to know what's the real deal.
Look at me. Physical or other appearances. Sweatshirt with paint all over it.
And authenticity, it's something that I think that really shows, beyond your appearance. It's also the way you live, the way you are, the way you talk, and I really get that from you. I really get that vibe, and it's and I think it's telling people you don't have to pretend. Stop pretending. Even it's not about that. It's not the point in life. If you want it all, if you want the success. It's not about a yacht and champagne every day. You know, who cares about that? It's about how you're going to feel and how you're going to become yourself more. And the third keyword for me was sharing. The fact that you're all about sharing that, sharing the different aspects of what helped you, sharing and able to share from others what had helped them, and so sharing this information as largely as possible. Which I mean, that if that's not empowering, you know, what is?
Yeah. Those are 3 great keywords to sum it up. I wasn't thinking like that, but that's great.
Yeah.
Also, but to bring it another point is like authenticity is I think, you know, if you're more confident when you are authentic, I think.
Yeah.
When you're pretending to be more confident than you are, deep down you're like, oh, you know, it's like, oh,
that's not a line. Yeah, this has a lot to do with honesty. Being honest with ourselves, to be honest with people, and really inspire them from the right place.
Yeah. And I think energetically as well, it transmits something, a message like, ooh, there's something a bit off. I can't really put my finger on it. And although this person seems, and, you know, it's smiling and all this, we can tell with the body language, and our
brains don't take the lies. Definitely.
Yeah. We are, we're connected in so many ways, not only with what we hear and what we listen.
We see.
Are we allowed to curse on this podcast?
Go on.
Are we?
That'd be all right.
Well, what I was going to say is we're bullshit detectors is what we are.
Yeah.
True.
It's true. I mean, look, children, they know. They just know you can't.
They feel
and they have no filter either.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you, like, I don't like you. I don't like that.
Honesty.
Absolutely. They're just
you want to get humbled, you just hang around like a bunch of like 10-year-olds for a day or two. You'll come out of that
such
defeated.
A good advice.
Yeah, all your ego taken care of for you. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. And it shouldn't be any different, because you know, the lie we tell ourselves, and, you know, it's not getting us anywhere, and, you know, and the journey will tell us it's going to block us from actually moving on, because that's not really what we're here for, and that's not the purpose we should be living, I believe.
Amen to that.
Yay. Amazing. So it's been amazing, guys, to have you. It's been amazing, Chris. Thank you so much. So we'll really
thank you, Chris.
Thank you,
everyone, to subscribe to the Eden Door podcast for your success, moving, achieve more and faster. And yes, you can connect with Chris on the YouTube channel. We'll have also the link for his book if you're interested. Everything will be provided for you. And if you have any questions, you want to reach out to us, you can send us an email at the EmpowHer Journey @gmail.com if there is something you'd like to hear more specifically about, or drop us a comment as well in the video below. And don't forget to subscribe before you go. Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Have a good
Thank
one.
you, Chris.
Bye.